Have you ever felt that really tight, awkward, uncomfortable silence in a group discussion and you thought, oh God, I've really messed this up? You may not have. You may have just bumped into a little bit of dissonance, and that's a good thing because that's where the growth begins. On Tuesday, I shared in my Searchlight Intelligence an article on how you might use cognitive dissonance as a leadership tool, particularly in change. And Emma Butler challenged me to share some more practical tips, and I said, challenge accepted. But what I want to get clear, first of all, is that having conversations that involve dissonance are necessarily messy. So it's not likely that I'm going to give you a right way of facilitating these conversations, right? They're a very messy space because dissonance means people are bumping up against unspoken assumptions, old ways of thinking, inhibiting beliefs, and that is always going to be uncomfortable. Now, what you can do, though, is think about how you set the space, not the script. What I mean by that is you're setting up a container of discussion. So frame the purpose, agree on the ground rules, let go of a fixed outcome. So you might want to say that as the facilitator to prepare the people in the conversation. We may not get to a tidy outcome in this conversation, and that's okay. You do want to use what are known as soft prompts. So thinking about your how, what, why questions that are gentle. So tell me what's feeling true for you at this point. Where are you holding tension around this idea? So think about some of the phrasing that you can use that are gentle and soft on people. You do want to watch the room. If there is silence, excessive fidgeting, sarcasm, you probably want to call that out and say, hey, I am observing that the room is very quiet at the moment. Is there something that should be said that people feel uncomfortable about saying? Or, gee, I can see a lot of sarcasm coming out. Is that a shield for what you really want to say at the moment? And so you actually call that out. You do want to offer an exit ramp, right? If the conversation gets too heated, tell people that, it's okay we're going to take time now to reflect. We'll revisit this afternoon. Maybe we'll revisit it next week. But it's perfectly acceptable to give people a way out of the conversation. I think ultimately you want to think about this as a campfire, not a TED talk. So this isn't about you making a perfect speech to a group of people. It's about you stoking the fire, keeping it going, keeping people warm. Now, you're not going to get this perfect. As I said, these are necessarily messy conversations. But those people in the room, they don't want you to be flawless. They want you to be real. They want you to be authentic. They want you to be kind and curious and willing to set in the messiness with them. I hope this has been helpful.